Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. And in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about being a buyer in a seller's market. So some of these things, if you've watched my video, we've kind of gone through. There's a point at the end, strategically put at the end, we're going to get to, which I think is going to be really important to get your mind around how this market actually works, and if you really want to get into the housing market at this point. So the basics of it is that you want to be pre-approved, okay? You want to have a solid pre-approval from a mortgage broker or a lender that you really trust. You want to make sure that you've given them all of your paperwork up front, like all your employment stuff, your NOAs if you're self-employed, anything that they're asking for. You want to try to close the gap on it as much as possible, because likely you're going to have to go in with a firm offer, meaning that you're not going to have a financing condition. So you want to really make sure that you're going to be able to get this mortgage. There are some mortgage brokers out there that can set you up with some lenders that will actually not just pre-approve you, but approve you right up front. So you don't have to really worry when you get in there, unless you've overly overpaid for a property, which we'll get back to actually in a minute. Another thing also is that you want to have your deposit ready, okay? So a lot of people kind of get caught off guard that haven't done this before. You basically need to have a deposit for the next day. Hopefully tonight you're going to be successful winning the offer presentation. You guys are going to get the house, and tomorrow you're going to have to show up to that brokerage with your certified or bank draft in hand. A lot of times people are still showing up to offer presentations or even sending a copy before their offer even gets of their deposit to show how serious they are. A couple of times this year, we've actually, since we have been doing the presentations virtually, there have been a few agents that have actually gone to my office and left a deposit in advance at my brokerage. So if their deal is accepted, there is no more waiting around for a deposit. The deposit's already there, and we can call it a firm and binding agreement right then and there, or we can just upload the price. It is a firm and binding agreement when you do sign that contract and it's accepted. So you do definitely want to have a deposit. And really, if at all possible, I'm not saying it's going to help you out that much, but if you can come up with a really good heavy deposit, typically we want to see 5%, but if you can come up with a little bit more, it would show how serious you are and how qualified that you actually are, that you are leaving a really big deposit. This year has been the year that we've actually seen really large deposits. I've seen $100,000, $200,000 deposits on properties with very serious buyers, because they're really kind of showing you that, they are financially capable of closing the transaction. Another thing also is that you're going to have to go in with a firm deal. You're going to have to get your mind wrapped around this, is that you're not going to be able to usually go in with conditions. Even if it is condominium. With condominiums, we have status certificates that typically get reviewed by a lawyer, but you're probably not even going to have a chance. A lot of times, shouldn't say a lot of times, but sometimes there are agents that have pre-ordered the status certificate, and you can ask them for it and maybe have your lawyer do a preliminary review prior to you making a firm offer on the offer presentation date, but that's not always the case. So really, you're going to have to be prepared to go in without any conditions. So, that's no financing, so no mortgage, no home inspection, no status certificate. I always put in a clause for a lawyer review of the entire agreement and attachments, and that all likely is not going to happen if you want to win this bid. And the other thing that's very important that I want to talk to you guys about is really, as much as we try to price real estate by the comparable sales, I hate to say it because I'm a real numbers guy and want to see the proof in front of me, the comps are really out the window, okay? I have seen examples myself recently where a house has sold for $1,250,000, and there's another house that gets listed like 7 doors down, is basically the same type of house. I would say it's actually not as nice as the one that sold for 1.25, and that one on offer presentation night gets 22 offers and it sells for 1.45, like $200,000 over 7 days or 10 days. And actually the other house was much nicer in my opinion. So somebody actually bought that house, right? So really with comparables, you're not going to be able to really see the value there. I mean, the person that bought the house for 1.25 probably, was overpaying based on the last comparable, and probably really happy to see this other house sell for 1.45. But it's a tricky situation with comparables, and you're probably going to have to pay over the comparable. How much? It's really hard to tell depending on how much competition there is. But that opens up another issue that you might face, which is basically your appraisal may not come in on that property, which could lead you down another problem. You want to make sure that your comparables, as much as possible, you're aware at least of the comparables. Even if you have to pay more, you're aware of what the comparables are, because you want to be prepared on the back end. If you're actually going to be putting down 20%, you may want to make sure that you have enough funds to put down 25 or 30 or 35% to cover that gap between what the appraised value is and what you've actually paid for this property. So you really got to be on the lookout for that. And also, buying in a seller's market as a buyer right now, I think you really have to really determine what your overall goal is over here, okay? As much as I'm a preacher of everyone go out and buy real estate, I want to start to say it might not be for everybody right this moment right now. I really don't think people should be overstretching themselves as bad as you want to get into the market if you can see some failures in the future. I don't think it's, for me personally, I wouldn't want to put myself in that type of a situation. I mean, if you're able to pay for a property at a purchase price that you're okay with and you plan on holding it for the long term, that's what I preach about, then you should be okay. But nobody really knows. I mean, the prices are at an all-time high right now, and you got to be really careful about what you're doing. As much as you're emotionally in the search of looking for a property and want to buy a property, you know, to kind of fit that goal achieved in our North American lifestyle, I would still proceed with a lot of caution. I want to hear about your experience. So have you guys been trying to buy real estate in this market? How has that been working out for you? How many offers have you made before you've actually been able to get one accepted? And what do you find the most frustrating about it? Is it the blind bidding? Is it you can't understand the comparable sales? The other agent just doesn't get back to your agent? Like, what's going on? I really want to understand what you guys are experiencing here. So please do me a favor. Like this post, share it. Most importantly, leave me a comment about what your experience has been like. And I need you guys to help me out with this as well. Follow my Instagram, check out more of my videos on YouTube, like our Facebook page, and until next time, remember one thing, guys, get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.